Hello and welcome back to World Talks, this time about Turkey. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said a historic breakthrough was made as he tried to convince Recep Tayyip Erdoğan to play a role in securing peace between Ukraine and Russia. The meeting in Ankara focused on a ceasefire proposal agreed upon between Ukraine and the US, as well as Russia's reaction to the proposal, and also Turkey's aspirations for EU membership. To discuss Turkey's role in this process, we are joined by Konrad Zasztowt, lecturer, Faculty of Oriental Studies, University of Warsaw. Your research includes Islam, ethnic and religious minorities in Ukraine, Turkey and the countries of the Caucasus and Central Asia. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Turkey, with its second largest army in NATO, speaks of a necessity of a just peace, and this is a quote by Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, between Ukraine and Russia, of course. So what are the strategic interests of Turkey in the process?
Well, when we talk about the Turkish approach to the war in Ukraine and the Russian aggression regarding Ukraine, it's a very complex approach, I would say, starting from the full-scale invasion, February 2022. Turkey has been trying to play a role of mediator between the two sides. So that was one of the few countries, in NATO countries, which tried to continue a good relationship both with Kiev and Moscow. So that was kind of extraordinary stance because, of course, the West condemned Russia and cut the relationship with Russia, but not Turkey. Turkey was continuing, especially in the field of trade, in the field of energy. Still, Moscow remained very important a partner for Ankara, but on the other hand, also Kiev, also Ukraine was an important partner for Turkey. And what is important, and especially now what is important, that Turkey is constantly repeating that it supports territorial integrity of Ukraine, which is something maybe it wasn't that extraordinary before, but now when we hear a lot of voices, including from the United States, doubting the territorial integrity of Ukraine, this is of course important, very important, especially for Ukraine.
And also Prime Minister Donald Tusk repeated yesterday that he was very pleased to hear that the just peace is necessary to be achieved by Ukraine and Russia. These are also very telling words. But on the other side, we hear Recep Tayyip Erdoğan saying that Turkey is happy to provide a venue for the peace talks. So is it so little or so much? What is this approach by Turkey?
Well, it's a kind of difficult to answer this question at the moment because, let's say, a month ago, I would say it's only that, or almost only the place where the talk can happen again, because I have to remind you that there were already talks between Russia and Ukraine in the beginning of this full-scale war in March 2022, and they were also in Turkey, in Istanbul, and Turkey was very eager to play this role of mediator. Even President Erdoğan wanted to be this politician, the one who ended the war. So that was, I think, his dream, and still probably is his dream. But what does it mean, this just peace? It's kind of a difficult question, of course, because I think in Turkey they have the experts community, maybe political elite, they have a little bit flexible approach to this term just peace. So some territorial concessions, even though Turkey officially repeats it supports territorial integrity of Ukraine, I think they also think about maybe some territorial concessions. But on the other hand, officially Turkey supports even the fact that Crimea is a part of Ukraine, especially because of the Crimean Tatar minority living there. And this minority, Crimean Tatars, they are regarded from the point of view of Turkey as a part of the Turkey community, because the Crimean Tatar nation is very culturally, linguistically very close to the Turks. As I said in the beginning, it's difficult to say what will be the final position of Ankara in this process, but still it's very important, and it's also something new that President Erdoğan started to talk about possible military presence of Turkey in Ukraine as a peacekeepers after the some kind of peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. So this is something new, and this shows that Turkey is becoming more and more involved in this issue of war in Ukraine.
We've seen Turkish envoys present also during the military talks in London lately. So apparently Turkey is involved, wants to be involved. But what are the chances to broker a deal, do you think, and the help of Turkey here in this dual process?
Well, when we started to discuss this, you said that is it only a place for this negotiation in Istanbul? I wouldn't overestimate the possibilities of Turkey to push Russia, but I would also not underestimate it. So obviously Turkey is an important trade partner for Russia. So
exactly. So perhaps let us
has some leverages to push Russia.
Let us just maybe change the approach. What is the relation with Turkey from the Russian and the Ukrainian parts? How do they view Turkey? Do they view them as a reliable partner or a possible mediator?
Well, let's start with Ukraine. I think for Ukraine, Turkey was always important, not fully reliable, of course, because still it continues the relationship. Ankara continues the relationship with Moscow, but still very important. I would say a strategic partner in the Black Sea region, for sure. From the point of view of Russia, it's more complex, because there were long periods starting, since 2016, with the growing crisis in the relationship of Turkey with the West, with the European Union, with the US. There was stronger and stronger relationship with Russia, but that has changed recently. I would say the issue of Syria, for example. So Turkey was in a position when it had to discuss and negotiate Syrian civil war with Russia. Now, with the fall of the Assad regime, supported by Moscow, Turkey is the winner in this conflict in Syria, and the most important player there. And it doesn't have to negotiate anymore with Moscow this issue. But there are also many other issues like Caucasus, like the situation in the Black Sea, where Turkey has now upper hand, and before it was the opposite. So Turkey had to look at the Moscow's position and only then formulate its own position.
And how do Turkey's NATO commitment influence its stance on the war? And does Ankara feel the pressure from its NATO partners and allies to exert a certain role in this process?
Of course, and we should remember that from the point of view of Ankara, these eastern flank problems with Russia, they are important, but they are secondary when related to the problems and threats for the Turkish southern border. So, of course, for Turkey, NATO is very important, but maybe not only because of the Russian threat, which is maybe less important, but there are many other threats in the region, especially in Middle East, so Syrian civil war, so Iran, and many other factors which are maybe more important in this national security strategy of Turkey.
So has this visit by Prime Minister Donald Tusk to Ankara been only a symbolic one, or whether it will just bring some very positive outcomes remains to be seen? Thank you so much, sir. Konrad Zasztowt, lecturer at Faculty of Oriental Studies from University of Warsaw, as our guest this morning. And thank you for watching World Talks. Stay tuned to TVP World.